This is America in Space, a weekly news and information program on current events dealing with the space industry.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor. NASA has selected 4 participants for a 1-year Mars analog mission in a habitat to simulate living on Mars. CHEAPEA, or the Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, is a ground-based mission set to begin this summer at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. The mission is the first of 3 planned 1-year Mars surface simulations, during which crew members will live and work in a 3D printed 1,700 square foot habitat.
NASA's Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, or CHEAPEA habitat, is complete and ready for crew members. The 3D printed habitat at our Johnson Space Center was built to provide a Mars-like environment here on Earth. This summer, several volunteers will start a year-long analog mission to help us prepare for future human exploration of Mars.
Researchers will simulate the challenges of a human mission to Mars, including resource limitations, equipment failures, communication delays, crew interactions, and other environmental stressors. Here is Grace Douglas, the CHEAPEA principal investigator, to tell us a bit about the mission.
So the Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, or CHEAPEA, was developed as a 1-year Mars surface simulation with the intent that we can have crew in isolation and confinement with Mars realistic restrictions, and we can really start to understand how those restrictions are associated with their health and performance over that year. As we're moving from near Earth orbit or low Earth orbit to missions further away from Earth, we really need to understand how we're impacting crew health with more limited resources. It's an isolation and confinement mission for a year with a crew of 4. We're putting in realistic simulations, so they're going to be doing realistic Mars tasks. They're going to have a lot of exploration activities in our sandbox, which will be more Mars realistic. We are going to be measuring their performance, their cognition, their health over that year to really understand and make sure that we're supporting it. And then that information we can take and give to the vehicle planners.
The habitat itself is 1,700 square feet. It was 3D printed. It has 4 bedrooms, a living area, a medical bay, an area to grow food, and an exercise facility. Alex Brahman, the NASA human performance researcher, describes how the mission will simulate the low Mars gravity and Mars walks.
So we are not able to simulate the Mars gravity.
So what we've created here is a space where we can simulate virtual reality spacewalks or Mars walks, also simulate a variety of other expected tasks that we might see on Mars, such as geology, removing dust from your spacesuit or solar panels, to repairing the habitats.
Grace Douglas said ultimately this information will help NASA make informed decisions to decide and plan for a successful human mission to Mars. The chosen CHEAPEA participants were selected through NASA's 2021 call for applicants. The 4 crew members and 2 backup crew members are Kelly Haston as the commander, Ross Brockwell as flight engineer, Nathan Jones as medical officer, Alicia Shannon as science officer, and the 2 backup crew members are Trevor Clark and Annika Saleri. So next year we'll know how it went for them. Thank you for joining me. Remember each Tuesday to join David Denault for America's Return to Space, and join me every Friday for America in Space. From the Florida Space Coast, I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor for About Space Today.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to share our program with your family and friends and follow us on Facebook. Join us each week for news and information on America in Space.